Welcome to Factual Fiction, a show where we explore if those anecdotes that inspire and make stories spectacular are actually accurate.
Today, we're sizing up a huge historical legend. Was Napoleon Bonaparte really the tiny tyrant we all picture, or has his story been cut short?
Napoleon, the man whose name is literally a synonym for a short guy with a chip on his shoulder.
The man, the midget, the legend, the dude whose name is literally a synonym for short guy with chip on his shoulder. We've all heard of the Napoleon complex, right? It's when short men overcompensate with buying big lifted trucks and showing aggression to make up for their extra small size. But here's the kicker, Napoleon wasn't short at all. He stood around 5'6", perfectly average, even a little taller than the typical Frenchman of his time. So where did the tiny Napoleon myth come from?
When the British wrote me down as 5'2", they meant English. In truth, I was closer to 5'6", not short at all.
The Brits. And they roasted him hard. Here are some savage propaganda cartoons the British used to roast Napoleon. Basically, the 1800s version of memes. The British tabloids calling him as Little Boney and said he was a monster who ate babies for breakfast, not biscuits. They claimed his average 5'6" frame was so pathetic he'd hide under tables to startle diplomats, his tiny boots squeaking like a mouse as he scurried. One bonkers story had him wrestle bears barehanded, getting tossed because his small feet slipped right out of his boots. Another swore he'd poison his troops' rations if they snickered at his comically tiny boots during drills. They shrank Napoleon down to a grumpy little man, making his military genius look like childish tantrums. Pure mockery, reducing him from emperor to clown. Satirists nicknamed him Little Boney, turning his surname into a joke. He's drawn frantic, unstable, always compensating. When Napoleon died in 1821, his height was listed as 5 peds 2 pouces, French feet and inches. A French inch, known as a pouce, was bigger than a British inch. The French inch or pouce was 2.71 centimeters, while the British inch was 2.54 centimeters. So 5 pieds 2 pouces in French units equals about 6.5 inches in English measure, which was average for that time. The British didn't translate it. They just read 5'2" in their own system and thought he was really that short. So he wasn't a tiny tyrant. He was just perfectly average sized for his time. Seems like the British had a real Napoleon complex.